Think $50 million is just a number? Well, think again. It buys your own slice of paradise where nobody bothers you except the private chef preparing your lobster dinner. These hideaways feature underwater suites and pristine beaches that have never felt a tourist footprint. From celebrity sanctuaries to ultra-luxury compounds, we're exploring spots worth more digits than your phone number, where the barriers to entry aren't just high, they're stratospheric. This is luxury that money literally can't buy, unless you're part of the Billionaire Club. But before we get into the list, don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you haven't, and let us know what you think of these island retreats in the comments down below. 10. Kalala Island, Nicaragua. Number 10 on our countdown is Kalala Island, Nicaragua, where disappearing from society is the whole point. This place is basically invisible on the Caribbean map, exactly what makes it perfect for celebs and billionaires looking to vanish. What makes this place crazy exclusive isn't just its location, it's the fact that only 10 guests can stay at once in their 4 luxury villas. That's it. 10 people on an entire island. That's like having a private paradise with just enough company to avoid boredom. And get this, there are 25 staff members catering to those 10 guests. That's 2.5 people working just for you at all times. The island thrives on absolute secrecy. When stars like Leonardo DiCaprio visit, the entire staff signs NDAs, and officially, your visit never happened. No photos, no social media, no evidence you were ever there. The price tag? The basic all-inclusive package starts at $1,850 per night, but the real ballers rent the entire island for $75,000 a week. They've got a pretty telling motto that says it all: where the billionaires go to escape the millionaires. Because when you're that rich, you need somewhere to hide from the regular rich people, right? 9. Amanpulo, Philippines. When A-listers need to hide their actual babies from the world, they head to number 9 on our list, Amanpulo in the Philippines. This ultra-private resort is literally designed to keep the outside world completely away from celebrity offspring. Sitting on Pamalican Island, which literally means Island of the Birds, the only flying objects you'll spot are private jets touching down on their exclusive 1.5-kilometer airstrip. From there, the privacy protection intensifies. Boats can't even approach the island unless they're approved. The resort security teams patrol the waters 24/7, making it physically impossible for paparazzi to get anywhere near. The resort features 42 luxury casitas that look like traditional Filipino houses on the outside, but are ridiculous on the inside. During off-season, these start at $1,100 per night, but that's just the basic package. The beach houses come with their own private chefs, and they actually import fresh white sand and regularly refresh it to keep it looking perfect. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, and Madonna aren't just random visitors. They specifically chose Amanpulo as their first vacation spot for their newborn babies. When celebs need to introduce their kids to tropical paradise without seeing them splashed across magazine covers, this is where they go. 8. Como Parrot Cay, Turks and Caicos. Imagine liking your hotel stay so much that you drop millions to buy property right next door. At Como Parrot Cay, celebrities aren't just booking rooms, they're purchasing entire estates on an island where even time itself plays by different rules. This isn't your average resort. Spanning 1,000 acres in Turks and Caicos, A-listers like Bruce Willis, Donna Karan, and Keith Richards were so impressed with their vacations that they bought multi-million-dollar homes on the property. They literally stayed for a week and thought, I should just live here. A regular room will set you back $950 a night, while Como villas cost up to $10,000 per night during high season. This island isn't just a resort, it's an invitation to live in a time zone of its own, setting clocks 1 hour ahead to give guests extra daylight. The wildest part? When celebrities aren't using their island homes, you can rent them. Donna Karan's estate, the Sanctuary, goes for $45,000 per night, more than most people's annual salary. When Christie Brinkley sold her modest Parrot Cay home for $9 million after 21 years, it barely raised an eyebrow by island standards. That's the reality of this celebrity paradise. 7. Lizard Island, Australia. Lizard Island sits right in the middle of Australia's Great Barrier Reef, where the government granted exclusive rights to one single resort. They drew a line around this entire island and said, only one business allowed here. And now, that place charges guests $1,800 a night minimum just to set foot on its beaches. This island is incredibly exclusive, and getting a reservation requires serious planning. When you check in, the staff gives you your own private motorboat. They hand you the keys and say, pick any of our 24 private beaches for today. That's 24 different beaches where you can be completely alone while the staff packs you a gourmet picnic lunch. The resort only allows 82 guests maximum, despite controlling an entire 2,500-acre island. That's over 30 acres of pristine national park land per person. Like having Central Park all to yourself with room service. The government's policy transformed this public land into your own private nature reserve. The exclusivity is so extreme that even Australia's Prime Minister has been turned away during peak season because they make no exceptions, not even for the country's leader. 6. Six Senses Lamu, Maldives. Imagine sleeping underwater at Six Senses Lamu, the only resort in an entire Maldivian atoll where nothing comes between you and the endless Indian Ocean, except some wooden planks and glass floors. For $1,500 per night, you get the basic experience. But the real magic happens in the Lamu Water Villa with pool at $3,500 a night. These overwater bungalows feature glass bathtubs suspended over the ocean, like bathing in your own personal aquarium, while sharks and rays swim right underneath you. The food situation is equally ridiculous. There's an actual ice cream room with 42 different homemade flavors that's open 24/7 and completely free. Want some weird custom ice cream at 3 a.m.? They'll make it with liquid nitrogen right in front of you, like some fancy science experiment. The craziest part has to be the underwater glass floor sleeping chambers. You'll watch sharks patrol beneath your bed all night. It's like sleeping in an aquarium, except you're the exhibit and the sharks are just going about their business. When Leo DiCaprio stayed here, he asked for a custom meal at 2 a.m. and they woke up the head chef. That's just standard service when you're dropping $3,500 a night in paradise. 5. Mushoke, Bahamas. If waking up a chef at 2 a.m. for a midnight snack seems impressive, you haven't seen anything yet. Imagine dropping $50 million on an entire archipelago of 11 islands that you rename after yourself. That's exactly what David Copperfield did in the Bahamas, with his personal playground now known as the Islands of Copperfield Bay. The famous illusionist rents out his paradise for $42,000 per night. With 30 staff members catering to a maximum of 24 guests, you're guaranteed more people serving you than people you're vacationing with. Copperfield built a secret village, complete with monkey sculptures on the sandbar that completely disappears when the tide rolls in. The guy literally created a vanishing village on his private islands because regular islands weren't magical enough. He even claims he discovered the Fountain of Youth on his property, a natural spring he markets as having age-defying properties. The man who made the Statue of Liberty disappear is now selling magic water from his island. When Google co-founder Sergey Brin chose it for his wedding and Bill Gates hides out here when he needs a break, you know it's beyond the average vacation spot. When you're worth nearly $1 billion, this is just another day at the office. 4. Vatuvara Private Islands, Fiji. But if you thought making an entire archipelago your personal fantasy land was impressive, wait till you hear about the island that's completely erased from the digital world. Vatuvara is so exclusive that when Prince Harry and Meghan needed to escape after stepping back from royal duties, the Fijian paradise became their hideout. The owners actually forced Google Earth to blur the entire island from satellite imagery. It's like a secret spot the internet pretends doesn't exist. The only way to reach Vatuvara is aboard the resort's private plane, with 0 public transportation options available. The resort features just 3 ultra-luxury villas, each with its own private beach you access directly through your bedroom. Imagine waking up and stepping onto sand that absolutely nobody else can walk on. The whole island runs on solar power, not for environmental reasons, but because fuel deliveries would mean unwanted boats approaching. When Oakley Sunglasses founder Jim Janet bought this place, he invested more in keeping people away than making it luxurious. That's how serious they are about privacy, prioritizing security over comfort, even though a stay costs more than most people's monthly salary. 3. Four Seasons Private Island Maldives at Voavar, Maldives. The Four Seasons at Voavar is literally the world's first private island inside a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve that you can have all to yourself. You can't book a room here like at regular hotels. The only option is renting the entire 7-bedroom paradise starting at $46,000 per night. That's your entire kingdom, where even marine life is on call. When you're dropping that kind of cash, you get ridiculous perks. The island comes with its own 62-foot yacht called Voavar Summer. That's yours 24/7. Feeling like a midnight cruise? Just tell the captain you're off. It's a floating extension of your already massive private playground. The marine life situation here is next level crazy. They've got a full-time marine biologist whose only job is tracking manta rays for you. That's their entire purpose, finding giant sea creatures whenever you want to swim with them. Since the island sits in Baja Atoll, you're basically renting an entire protected ecosystem. The weirdest flex? The island operates on your own time zone. Here, even sunsets can be rescheduled like a personal assistant. If you want cocktails at 9 p.m. instead of 7 p.m., they'll adjust every clock on the island. That's what 46 grand a night gets you. 2. Necker Island, British Virgin Islands. Think 46 grand a night is expensive? Wait until you hear about the guy who turned a bargain island purchase into a billionaire's playground. In 1978, Richard Branson spotted an uninhabited island in the British Virgin Islands and snagged it for $180,000, about the price of a decent apartment today. That savvy investment has exploded into a $100 million paradise where staying costs you $105,000 per night for up to 40 guests, more than most people earn in a year. What started as a bare island evolved into an eccentric wonderland where Branson imported flamingo flocks and lemur colonies because regular island wildlife wasn't bougie enough. The island's drama peaked in 2011 when lightning struck the main house. During the chaos, Kate Winslet literally carried Branson's elderly mom to safety, a real-life hero moment. The rebuild cranked up the luxury with a 30-person crow's nest hot tub, bedroom zip lines, and a floating sushi bar because normal dining is just too basic. The guest list is just as ridiculous. Barack Obama learned kiteboarding here after his presidency, and Google co-founder Larry Page had his 600-guest wedding there, which apparently counts as an intimate gathering when you're worth billions. 1. The Brando, French Polynesia. While Obama was chilling with Branson, he was planning his next exclusive island escape. Marlon Brando, the legendary actor, got so obsessed with his Mutiny on the Bounty filming location that he bought the entire Tetiaroa atoll in French Polynesia back in the 60s and transformed it into one of the most exclusive eco-resorts on the planet. The engineering here is revolutionary. They pump cold water from 3,000 feet below the ocean surface to cool the villas instead of regular air conditioning. This $11 million system keeps villas perfectly chilled while using 70% less electricity than standard AC. Kind of eco-luxury that attracts the ultra-elite who want to feel good about their carbon footprint while paying more per night than some people make in months. They've weaponized science against mosquitoes too, breeding special sterile males that can't produce offspring. When released, the mosquito population crashes without a single drop of insecticide. The 3-bedroom compound where Obama escaped to write his memoir costs more per night than a brand new Toyota Corolla. But creative inspiration doesn't come cheap when you're a former president with a book deal. Private islands have evolved from millionaire getaways into billionaire battlegrounds, with prices skyrocketing yearly as the ultra-wealthy compete for true scarcity, privacy. Voavar's $46,000 nightly rate buys you a UNESCO reserve playground, while Necker Island's $105,000 gets you Richard Branson's personal paradise. These aren't just stays, they're temporary kingdoms where oceans become moats and security teams serve as knights. The truly elite have moved beyond gold toilets to owning entire ecosystems. Subscribe to tour more playgrounds you'll probably never set foot on, and tell us which island you'd choose if your bank account suddenly went full billionaire mode.